Hi, guys. I wanted to say that with so much in the world that has changed in the last 30 years, I just wanted to give my opinion here. And this is only my opinion, but I feel very strongly about it. And I want to say over the things that have changed in the last 30 years, it is actually no surprise to me that even the weather is different now. Different weather patterns to where nothing is quote unquote normal anymore. It wasn't too long ago that we used to have normal springs. We used to have normal fall. We've only got two seasons now: winter, which is 7 months, and summer, that is 3 months. That's it. That's it. We don't have the other two seasons. I have no idea what happened to them. Maybe my thoughts are, and I do believe this because there is always a direct result anytime there is an action. Years upon years of chemtrail spraying has got to have negative impacts on the environment. So if I would have to guess on what could possibly be screwing with the weather patterns, I would have to say that would probably be my top guess because it sure is not helping anything. Ask yourself this: when's the last time you ever seen a clear, unobstructed sunset, a natural sunset? I can't remember when's the last time I seen one, because between the horizon and all that film where the sun goes down and it gets behind it, you just see just like this apocalyptic glow. You can't even watch the sun dip below the horizon anymore. Those days are over with. But I wanted to say, out of all the times that we've lived through, if you are a prepper and someone that wants to ready yourself for anything, now is the time to be that person. There is so much going on. I saw this morning in many different news articles where these so-called cyber experts claim that cyber attacks in the United States, whether it's from the inside or an outside source, are up 300%. That's why the Eastern Pipeline has been targeted. And then Florida, their water supply had been targeted. There's been targets all over the place of people screwing with our infrastructure, whether it's just an inside terrorist group or some other foreign country that is an enemy of ours. Who knows? We will never know, because even when Homeland Security and the FBI does their investigations and all the different alphabet agencies that get involved in this sort of deal, they do their investigations and they never do a follow-up. We never hear a follow-up to anything that ever goes on, ever. The story breaks, it's all bad news, but it never gets cleared up. We never know. We will never know. But they do say that it's going to continue to happen. And, different things affect certain things like the fuel supply or the water supply or things like that. But if they go after our electrical grid, now everything is affected. It will be literally everything. Everything runs on electricity. So will that be targeted? Absolutely. It's just a matter of time. And then they talk about the job reports, disappointing job reports, where I guess this April it was 400,000 plus lower than anticipated, 400,000 jobs lower than what they were anticipating on meeting the mark. I'm not surprised. Under being run by a Democrat administration, I'm not surprised. I believe that the Democrats will and plan on running this country into the ground. Now, there are jobs out there that are screaming for help because they can't find people that want to take these jobs. So many companies, all different types of companies, are hiring, supposedly, if you believe everything you're told in the news. These jobs are hiring and nobody's taking them. And people are saying it's because the government is giving everyone so much money that they have no incentive to go to work. And I don't disagree with that at all. I think that has a lot to do with it. But at the same time, I think people are also waking up to the realization that you work for someone, you never get anywhere. You remain poor day in and day out, week after week, collect that paycheck, live hand to mouth, and you never get anywhere. And I think people are finally waking up to that. I don't know why it took them so long, But now people are realizing that if you don't make your own income, you basically won't have an income. And so I think it's a culmination of many things, but that is definitely a contributor to it. So we're in a deficit we are never going to get out of. We are never going to get out of it. There's no way you could ever pay it down. It would take generations upon generations to fix it. And they're creating all these problems. So it really, with all the things that we've lost and all the things that have gone away, because I do believe it was by grand design. I will always believe that, regardless what anybody says to me. I will always believe that, because when you really look at the things that have gone away, it seems like it was planned, because only certain things were affected, and you know what those certain things were. That's why I believe it was planned. So why wouldn't they do away with the rest? I mean, come on, they want us all to be home. They want us all to stay home. They want us to be indoors. And this is another reason why I firmly believe that weather manipulation is real, because they can do it. And if you don't believe they can do it, look into it. Look into it. They've been saying this going back to the 1950s about being able to control the weather. They're doing everything they can to destroy anything that's left that's good, because it's all about control. If you had the masses staying home, not working, not having a life, and everyone being brainwashed on the internet, you can control them more. And that's why they want everything to go to a digital lifestyle, because then it's so easy to turn someone off if they're not following the rules. That's what China does. That's what China does, and that's what they have been doing. Look at all the different problems. Look at all the different problems, and none of it is improving. None of it's getting better. All the numbers on everything are getting worse. We're shedding businesses now. I wasn't the greatest fan of Trump. I never liked the guy. It has nothing to do with the fact that he was president. I'm talking about going way, way, way back before he even threw his hat in the ring to be president of the United States of America. I never liked the guy. Period. I just don't like him as a person. So it'd be no different as him being president. But at least I could say he was doing a better job, because things just seemed like they were more positive and things were going in the right direction. Maybe a little slower than we all thought or wanted, but at least it was going in the right direction. Now, with this Alzheimer patient we have running the show, and I don't really believe they run the show, but for a lack of a better word, got to have a puppet there. Everything's getting worse. Everything's getting worse. And do I think it's a coincidence when you've got an administration that wants to do away with fossil fuels and go to more of an eco-friendly type of energy, who has no problem shutting down pipelines, that a pipeline gets shut down? So sometimes I wonder, is that an inside job, or is it through foreign attack? Just a group of people that are doing ransomware and want to get paid off. I don't know. I don't know, you guys, but I think the timing is really bad. Look how they wanted to go after the guns. It's always been the Democrats that want to go after the guns. And then once this administration comes in, all the shootings come back. Have you noticed that? Shootings everywhere now, everywhere. We just had one in Times Square down in New York City. You got them in the Midwest. You got them down south. They're just everywhere. Convenient, isn't it? Because they are so pro to take away your guns. Let's have a bunch of shootings so we can see why that needs to be done. Let's do something to the pipeline so people can see that they need to have electric cars, because you can't rely on that type of infrastructure. Do you really think that's coincidence or accident? Just a question. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.